The cafe was tucked into the base of the building, all exposed wood and matte black fixtures. Minimalist, but warm. It was just past the lunch rush, so they had their pick of tables. Kate chose one near the window. Lily slid into the seat across from her, fingers still adjusting the strap of her bag like it gave her something to do. She felt a little out of place, too casual in her jeans and sweater, too aware of how good Kate looked in a blazer. A waiter brought water. Kate glanced at the menu once, then set it down. "Order whatever you want," she said, catching Lily's hesitation. "It's my treat." Lily smiled, relaxing a little. "Good. Because I'm starving." They both ordered. Once the waiter left, a comfortable quiet settled between them. Kate leaned back slightly, one arm resting along the top of the bench. "You looked startled upstairs." Lily blinked. "I wasn't." "You definitely were. I didn't expect people to notice me." Kate raised an eyebrow. "You're a little hard not to notice." Lily laughed, soft and automatic, then immediately regretted it. "You keep doing that." "Doing what?" "Saying things that make me feel like I should say thank you. Or run away." Kate tilted her head. "Which are you more likely to do?" "I haven't decided yet." That earned her a small, amused smile. Not mocking, just entertained, and maybe a little curious. Their food arrived. They ate quietly for a while, the kind of silence that felt easy instead of forced. After a few minutes, Kate asked, almost offhandedly, "Did you ever think about going back to school?" Lily looked up. "Sometimes. But I don't know what I'd be going for. I think that's the problem." Kate nodded like she understood. "There's nothing wrong with waiting until it feels like the right reason." "I think my mom's convinced I'm having a quarter-life crisis." "Are you?" Lily smirked. "Maybe. But if I am, it's a really quiet one. No tattoos, no cross-country moves." Kate rested her chin on her hand. "No romantic chaos?" Lily met her eyes, pulse picking up. "Not yet." Kate didn't look away. Shame. The word hung there. Lily's fork paused halfway to her mouth. She set it down carefully, suddenly very aware of how Kate was looking at her. Steady, unflinching, like she'd just said exactly what she meant and wasn't taking it back. Heat crept up Lily's neck once again. She reached for her water, took a sip, anything to have something to do with her hands. Kate's lips curved slightly, like she knew exactly what she'd done. Neither of them spoke for a minute. Lily focused very hard on her plate. Kate went back to eating like she hadn't just tilted Lily's entire world slightly off its axis. When they finally stood to leave, Kate reached for her wallet. "I've got it," she said. "You don't have to—" "It's not a favor," Kate replied, handing her card to the server. "It's lunch." Outside, the air was cooler. The city moved around them, people walking past, cars at the lights, the slow and lazy afternoon traffic. Kate glanced sideways as they stood near the curb. "Thanks for bringing the folder," she said. Lily smiled, flustered and a little breathless. "You're welcome." Kate held her gaze for a second longer than necessary. "We should do this again sometime," she said. "No folder required." Kate came home just after 7. She stepped into the apartment and paused, drawn by a smell she couldn't quite place. It wasn't bad, exactly. Just confusing. And somehow exotic? She wasn't quite sure, as if her senses were playing a trick on her. She set down her bag and followed the scent to the kitchen. Lily was standing at the stove, holding a wooden spoon like she wasn't entirely sure whether to stir with it or use it as a weapon. The pan was hissing. A pot was bubbling over slightly. Something was smoking. "Hey," Kate said. Lily jumped. "Oh my gosh, hi. You're back early. I live here." I know, I just, was trying to make dinner. You've fed me like twice this week, and I thought I'd return the favor. Kate looked at the stove, then at Lilly. Ambitious. Lilly sighed. That bad, huh? No, Kate said, straight-faced. She waved her hand dramatically in front of her face, as if trying to catch the scent better. I love the smell of slightly scorched garlic and regret. That made Lilly chuckle as she rolled her eyes and flipped off the stove. They sat down at the table a few minutes later, plates in front of them, steam rising from what might have been a pasta dish in a past life, or the ironic start of her culinary career. Lilly watched Kate take the first bite. Kate chewed, paused, glanced at Lilly, then nodded slowly. She said. So good. Lilly picked up her fork and tried a bite. A second later, she dropped it and covered her mouth. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know pasta could taste like this. Kate burst out laughing. Real, unfiltered laughter that filled the kitchen. It startled Lilly, who wasn't used to seeing her like that. But it was amazing. Hearing her laugh like that, watching her lean back in her chair with her shoulders relaxed, looking less like a polished CEO and more like just Kate. Normal. Human. Beautiful in a way that had nothing to do with expensive clothes or perfect composure. Lilly pushed her plate away, cheeks pink with defeat. I swear I followed the recipe. You did fine. I didn't even know pasta had a texture called rubbery. Kate leaned her elbow on the table, chin in her hand, watching her. You know what? She said. I kinda love it. Lilly gave her a look. Why? Because it's a disaster? Because it's honest, Kate said. And no one's ever made me dinner just because they felt like it. That shut Lilly up for a second. She looked at Kate, really looked at her. How was that even possible? No one had ever cooked for her just because. Not friends, not Elise? Lilly tried to imagine what kind of marriage that had been. Busy, probably. Two successful people with separate schedules, separate lives that only intersected when convenient. Maybe that's what happened when you built a life around logistics instead of small gestures, around travel itineraries instead of rubbery pasta and laughter. The thought made her chest ache a little. They sat in the quiet for a moment, the worst dinner in history cooling between them, the air warm with something else entirely. Then Kate pushed her plate aside and stood. Come on. Where are we going? To order takeout like civilized people. But I'm keeping this on my list of favorite meals. Lilly raised an eyebrow. You're kidding. Kate gave her a small, crooked smile. Not about the favorite part. And that was the end of it. But also, not really. They ordered Thai. While they waited, Kate poured them each a glass of wine, and Lilly did her best to scrub the pasta disaster from memory, and from the pan. By the time the food arrived, they'd moved to the living room floor, some romantic comedy playing softly on the TV, the kind with too many misunderstandings and a predictable happy ending. The city glowed gently through the windows. Lilly picked up a container, hesitating. If I make you dinner again, I feel like I should sign a waiver first. You know, promising you won't fire me. Kate smiled, passing her chopsticks. Lucky for you, Oliver thrives on yogurt. So really, you're already exceeding expectations. Lilly laughed. That's a low bar. Maybe, Kate said, unfolding a napkin. But watching you try was worth every bite. Lilly gave her a look. You're being way too nice about this. You literally lied to my face and said it was good. I just have good manners, Kate replied, that small smile still playing at her lips. It's a skill. You develop it when you spend years smiling through overpriced restaurant meals with clients who think truffle oil is a personality, especially in a male-dominated field. That made Lilly smile. So what does that make me? Kate raised an eyebrow. A woman who tried her best to make me an amazing dinner. And did. Lily froze, chopsticks in hand. That sounds dangerously close to a compliment. Kate leaned back slightly, the corner of her mouth curling. What if it was? Lily looked down at her food, cheeks warming. She fumbled with the container lid, suddenly very focused on opening the spring rolls. Then I guess, thank you? It came out awkward and uncertain, and she immediately wished she'd said literally anything else. Kate's smile softened. Now it was her turn to look pleased. They started to eat. It felt easy, comfortable, like they'd done this 100 times before, sitting on the floor, sharing takeout, half watching a movie neither of them cared about. It didn't feel like Kate the CEO and Lily her employee. It felt like two normal people just sharing dinner and spending time together. Like home. Lily nudged her wine glass with her thumb. Do you ever do this? Eat. Sit on the floor. With takeout. And wine. Just because someone made you a pasta nightmare, even if they followed the recipe word by word. Kate gave a soft laugh. Not lately. But you used to? Kate tilted her head slightly, considering. I used to be more fun, I think. Or at least I'd like to believe that. She paused, swirling the wine in her glass. But I always had some sort of mask on, you know? I don't think I ever let someone in fully. Not my parents, not friends, not partners. She looked out at the city lights. It never felt like I had anything interesting to share or say. Like I was just watching other people's lives instead of living mine. There was a pause. A heavy one. Lily watched her, struck by how easily Kate described things. So simply, yet so well. Sometimes Lily wished she was as good at putting feelings into words. Not just to Kate, but to her family. To anyone. Then Lily said, voice lighter, well, for what it's worth, you seem good at it. At what? This. Being relaxed. Living. Kate looked at her then, for just a second too long. You make it easy. Lily froze, chopsticks halfway to her mouth. Kate didn't apologize. Didn't look away. You're doing it again, Lily murmured. What? Saying things that make me forget how to form sentences. Kate smiled into her wine. I like watching you try. Lily shook her head, flustered and grinning. You are so... But she didn't finish the sentence. Kate set her wine glass down, turning slightly more toward her. Can I ask you something? Sure. I feel like we always talk about me. My work, Oliver, Elise. We rarely talk about you. Lily blinked. There's not much to talk about. I don't believe that for a second, Kate said. But if you're not ready, that's fine. We could always do one of those question games. You know, write them out, take turns answering. No pressure, just getting to know each other. Lily's heart did something stupid in her chest. Like 20 questions? Something like that, Kate said, her voice softer now. If you want. Lily looked at her, at the way Kate was watching her with genuine curiosity, not polite interest, like she actually wanted to know. Yeah, Lily said quietly. I'd like that. Kate smiled. Good. Instead of turning back to the movie, they kept talking. The romantic comedy played on, forgotten. Neither of them noticed when it ended.